Welcome to Icons of Change, a series dedicated to exploring the lives and legacies of extraordinary individuals who have left an indelible mark on history. In each episode, we'll dive deep into the stories of men and women who, through their courage, determination, and vision, have sparked transformative movements and inspired generations. Today, we begin with Rosa Parks, a woman whose quiet defiance on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, ignited the civil rights movement and changed the course of American history. On December 1, 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, an event occurred that would become a turning point in American history. Rosa Parks, a seasoned activist with the NAACP and a longtime advocate for racial equality, made a courageous decision that day that would echo throughout the nation. Parks refused to give up her seat on a public bus to a white passenger, an act of defiance that would ignite the flame of the civil rights movement. But this was not merely an impulsive decision by a weary seamstress, as it is often oversimplified in popular narratives. It was, in fact, a calculated and deliberate action by a woman who had been deeply involved in the fight for civil rights for many years. Rosa Parks was aware of the potential consequences of her actions. She knew that by refusing to adhere to the Jim Crow laws that enforced racial segregation on public buses, she was putting herself at great personal risk. Her arrest for violating these segregation laws was swift, but what followed was even more significant. This single act of resistance served as the catalyst for the Montgomery Bus Boycott, a mass protest that would last for an astounding 381 days. The Montgomery Bus Boycott was more than just a local protest. It was a powerful demonstration of unity, sacrifice, and determination by the African American community of Montgomery. The boycott was organized by local leaders, including a young and relatively unknown Martin Luther King Jr., who would soon become a central figure in the civil rights movement. The protest required immense resolve from the community, as many participants had to walk long distances to work, school, and other daily activities. Others relied on a complex system of carpools organized by the boycott's leaders. This level of commitment and solidarity was crucial, as it put significant economic pressure on the bus system, which relied heavily on African American ridership. The boycott wasn't just about making a statement, it was about demanding real change. And the change came. After more than a year of sustained protest, the boycott succeeded when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. This was a monumental victory not just for the people of Montgomery, but for the civil rights movement as a whole. It was proof that peaceful, collective action could lead to significant social change. However, the significance of Rosa Parks' contribution to the civil rights movement goes far beyond that single iconic moment on the bus. Before that day, Parks had already been deeply involved in the fight against racial injustice. As the secretary of the Montgomery chapter of the NAACP, she was actively engaged in investigating cases of racial violence and injustice. One such case was the brutal assault of Reese Taylor, a black woman who was attacked by white men. Parks worked tirelessly to bring attention to Taylor's case despite the dangerous climate of racism and violence that permeated the South at the time. Parks's activism was driven by a deep-seated commitment to justice that did not wane after the success of the Montgomery Bus Boycott. Even after she and her husband moved to Detroit, she continued to be a force for change. Detroit, like many northern cities, was grappling with its own forms of racial segregation and economic inequality. Parks worked to address issues such as housing discrimination, poverty, and the systemic marginalization of black residents. Her work in Detroit demonstrated that her commitment to justice was not confined to the South, nor was it limited to the issue of bus segregation. In 1987, together with Elaine Eason Steele, Parks co-founded the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development. This organization was born out of Parks's desire to educate and empower the next generation. The Institute's programs, such as the Pathways to Freedom bus tours, were designed to teach young people about the history of the civil rights movement and to inspire them to continue the struggle for equality and justice. These programs ensured that the lessons of the past would not be forgotten and that the fight for civil rights would be carried forward by future generations. Rosa Parks's life was a testament to the power of individual action in the face of systemic oppression. Her decision to remain seated on that bus was not just an act of defiance. It was a statement to the world that the status quo of racial injustice was no longer acceptable. Parks became a symbol of courage and resilience, embodying the spirit of the civil rights movement. But her impact did not end there. Throughout her life, Parks continued to challenge injustice, whether it was in the courtrooms of Montgomery or the streets of Detroit. Her legacy is one of continuous advocacy for social change. Parks understood that the fight for civil rights was not a singular event, but an ongoing struggle that required vigilance, determination, and above all, unity. She showed us that change is possible when we stand together, and that even the smallest acts of resistance can have a profound impact on the world. Today, Rosa Parks is remembered not just as the mother of the civil rights movement, but as a pivotal figure in American history whose influence extends far beyond the events of 1955. Her life and work serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up for what is right, no matter the cost. Parks' legacy continues to inspire generations to challenge injustice and to work toward a world where equality and justice are not just ideals, but realities for all. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of Rosa Parks, an icon of resilience and a catalyst for change. Her story reminds us of the power that one individual can have in challenging injustice and shaping the future. But our journey doesn't end here. In our next episode, we'll be turning our attention across the Atlantic to another remarkable figure. Emmeline Pankhurst, a leader whose tireless advocacy for women's suffrage helped change the face of democracy in the United Kingdom. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the stories of those who have dared to make a difference. If you found this video inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might be interested in learning about these incredible icons of change. Your support helps keep the conversation going and ensures that these important stories continue to reach a wider audience. See you next time.